The latest chapter of Dragon Ball Super has landed. Chapter 82 is full of ups and downs and lots of frowns, I guess, at the same time. So let's deep dive into it. Gas is just leaping blindly to wherever Goku's gone, and then we see Monaka dumping a bunch of cement on him, and Goku like finds it quite funny that everything is as it is, and he tells him to go wash off in a river. It's just typical low humor, and I guess it's something that really could have been brushed off quite quickly. Before you know it, he's teleporting to the Universal King. I think is it the Universal King? I should look that up.
Oh.
Anyway, he lands in a bath and Goku jokes about it and says, "Hey, got that wash that I told you to get?" Yeah, hilarious. Really funny. Really funny. We have a quick flashback to the situation which is happening on Planet Cereal, and the Heaters have no idea what's happening. Meanwhile, Vegeta, as always, he's on point. He knows what's happening. He knows that he's trying to buy time. Goku's trying to buy time for them. So then we can have Granola recovered or Vegeta recovered or something to help them beat Gas in this fight. Meanwhile, Goku has teleported to the Galactic Prison and we're getting even more cameos while Gas kicks the hell out of him. We instantly see cameos from Sagambo's old group. They're all still locked up in the Galactic Prison, and they start poking fun at Gas when they recognize him. This is probably the most accurate thing towards Toriyama's style of humor, so I can kind of find this funny because it's not come directly from Goku, it's come from a third party. Now, a lot of people might think, oh, this is stupid, it's just one cameo after another, but Goku's using these key signatures so he can go further and further and further away from this fight, and he can move Gas away to give Granola the time to heal up. You can see this really annoys Gas, and you know what? I think Goku twigs at this point that there's some kind of there's a barrier and mentally he can't cope with things, so he's going to use this to his advantage as soon as they jump to the next location. The Heaters are desperately trying to find their location and they don't know what to do because they're changing so quickly, their technology can't keep up with it. And then instantly Goku's like, "So you just do everything that your big brother tells you to do?" Goku winds up Gas to the point of saying, "Hey, you're the strongest right now. Why are you still taking order?" But for some reason, Gas still latches on and basically says that without Elec, he would not be in the situation that he's in with the power that he's got. So he kind of has some form of respect for him. Goku plants this seed. You can see that it's clearly irritating Gas, which is kind of interesting because this may play a bigger part in the next chapter. The Heaters try and rush in to clean up the remains of everybody else who's left on Planet Cereal. He's still jumping around aimlessly, locating key targets to jump and hop and skip from until eventually we get to Whis. And I feel that that was his last call that he could possibly go to. So Gas seems to be completely unaware about angels because Goku name drops Whis and tells him directly that, you know, this is my master and he's an angel. He has no idea of what he's up against here. But I would be interested to find out that, considering that he is the strongest in the universe, does that include the gods and the angels? Or is Whis still classed as a higher being and not part of Universe 7? Kind of interesting to think about if he is actually stronger than Whis or not. So as soon as Whis accepts this, he's like, "Yeah, sure, I'll take care of this guy for a moment. What's wrong?" Before Goku even gets a chance to explain the situation, he's gone, and he has to use his instant transmission as fast as possible to get all the way back to Planet Cereal. Now, an interesting thing about this is he has to go to every single location that he's been to. He can't just go directly to Planet Cereal, and Goku can travel pretty much from Earth to Beerus's realm, which is supposedly outside of the world of Universe 7 almost. So it's interesting that Goku, even with this new ability, he can't still go straight to Cereal. Gas is ultimately surprised by this. He can't believe at the speed that he's just left him at. And even he thinks he can't lock on and get there in time. And Whis says it's far too far for him to go. But for some reason, even Goku had to jump to every single location that he'd previously been to make his way back to planet Cereal. Nonetheless, Gas seems to have the speed and ability to travel through space. So he puts his foot down and he goes like hell to catch up. This gives our heroes around 20 minutes to get everything that they can get prepared before Gas's arrival. Whis warns them of the 20-minute countdown and they are in a bit of a flurry. They're trying to hurry back to some kind of cover as fast as possible to figure out anything and everything that they can before Gas gets back. There's a couple of things here that's kind of interesting. The Oracle Fish doesn't pick up on the fact that Gas is the strongest in the universe, even though the Oracle Fish predicted this. So this could mean that somebody else is still going to take that title. And then we get onto this segment regarding Goku speaking to Whis, saying, how do I learn to use Ultra Instinct better? Whis responds with, how many times must I tell you? It's up to you to discover your own version of Ultra Instinct. So right now, the version that we've always known is an imitation of what the gods use. What's to say that Goku's won't be a new transformation that actually applies Ultra Instinct? This could be a really, really interesting thing, and it could result in Goku actually being the strongest by realizing that he has to adapt Ultra Instinct to his own natural instincts. And we learn a little bit more about that when he has this shock revelation after he hears his father's voice. Vegeta quickly repairs the scouter and produces an audio file. This audio file is Bardock's voice, and after hearing it for a while and Goku hears the word stay alive, it triggers an instant flashback for him, remembering being sent away from planet Vegeta in that Saiyan pod, Gine and Bardock. And this is the first time outside of a movie that we've had official kind of connection between Goku's origin. That bump on the head really messed Goku up as a kid. So to get to this point now, this late in the story of Dragon Ball, this is brand new territory once again, and it's really interesting to see this happen. Is Goku going to unlock some kind of repressed memories of his family? Is he going to learn some new ability through this love of an original family that he once had? Will it set him out on a new adventure to, you know, maybe even find some way of speaking to his father from the dead? We don't know. Like, I doubt that's going to happen, but this unlocks a lot of new potential. And then the chapter completely changes. We get Bardock versus Gas. This is 40 years back on planet Cereal when Bardock was left behind after the Saiyans decided to pillage and just destroy anything that was on there before Frieza was to take it over, completely unaware that the Heaters were the middleman for Frieza. We see Bardock going all out and hitting Gas with everything he's got. But even he admits that Gas is a monster and this does not affect him whatsoever. So this looks like in chapter 83, we're going to actually find out what Bardock realized and did to beat Gas. Something that even Goku hasn't managed to do, and this is way, way, way back in the past. So before Gas unleashes his actual true form, which seems to be something that all the Heaters have, as it was mentioned earlier on in the chapter, we're yet to see Bardock go all out against Gas because we're yet to see Gas go all out. We could potentially see something that Bardock does that's never been done before, and I don't want to put words into anybody's mouths or put thoughts out there, but what happens if Bardock has his own unique transformation at this point? Something that only happened in this instant that changed the course of history and beat Gas senseless. Be interesting to see how this plays out in the next chapter. Ultimately, I found that this latest edition of Dragon Ball Super manga was a 50-50 split. We had a lot of comedic attempts at replicating Toriyama's comedy, but then we also had some gripping stuff which genuinely put chills down my spine when I had that flashback moment of Goku realizing he was listening to his dad's voice, telling him to stay alive. It's going to be really, really, really nice to see where chapter 83 takes us, how it's going to all wrap up, and how things are going to play forward during this fight. I still dare say we've got a few, maybe 3 or 4 chapters left until we're anywhere near the end of this story, and it's only going to lead into Frieza coming back into the fray afterwards. It's what the Heaters have been hinting at, it's what Granola's being after, and ultimately to wrap up their storylines, you're going to need some kind of end. So I can see everything going full circle in Dragon Ball Super and going all the way back to Frieza once again. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to hit subscribe, drop us a like and a comment. It's always appreciated. It helps the channel massively. And until then, stay safe. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.